Right now is because my brand new podcast launches this weekend on my Patreon and next Tuesday publicly. I am so thrilled to be sharing this with you guys finally. I've been working on the rebrand for quite some time now, and I'm just really proud of it. But I realized that I hadn't got on here and talked to you guys about what it was going to be about. So we're about to do that. Okay, for starters, the name of the brand new podcast is Dex and the City. I'm obsessed. My husband actually helped me come up with this one. As many of you may know, he nicknamed me Dex a long time ago. It stuck. He's the first and only person who's ever called me that in my life. Because of that, you guys started to call me Dex, and I am obsessed with that nickname. The and the city part obviously just kind of rolls off the tongue because of the show. But because of the way that the podcast is structured and that I'm kind of doing it, it makes total sense. What will this podcast be about? Let me tell you. Essentially, whatever you guys want it to be. I love giving straightforward, uncut, direct, not sugar-coated advice. You guys know I love talking my shit, especially about things that I feel passionate about. And one thing about y'all is you guys love to ask me questions about my past, present, future, things I've been through, how I got to where I am, probably because of my brand and the things I've shared with you guys through my songs and my music. So I kind of wanted to wrap all those into one pretty little bow and make a podcast. Okay, hear me out. So I've created a Dex in the City form where y'all get to anonymously write in, or not, completely up to you, and ask me to cover anything under the moon. It can be a topic you want to hear me talk about, a relationship you're struggling with, a situation that you want my advice on. It does not matter. There's plenty of space to be as descriptive as possible. And every time I go to record a podcast, I will be choosing one of the write-ins to cover. In about 15 to 20 minutes, I will be launching the photos from the Dex in the City photo shoot. They are fire. You guys should start already. The second that I post those, I will be making that form live. As far as co-hosts and guests, that's absolutely still a thing. It is actually part of the show and one of the reasons we named it Dex in the City. I'm going about it completely different. I actually think it's really cool. But first and foremost, James is still partaking on this adventure with me. You will just not see him on every episode. However, you will see him as a repeated co-host, period. And he just texted me. I love him so much. So I will be picking a topic or situation to cover, and then I will be
Come on, fucking internet.
choosing a co-host to match. I don't necessarily want to call them a guest because I'm not going to interview them or anything. I want them to host the show with me. The reason I wanted to do this is because I like different perspectives on things. I know you guys reach to me for a lot of advice, and I'm here to give it. But I haven't necessarily been through everything, right? So for an example, if someone wrote in about being a single mother, I don't know what that's like. I can relate to it because I'm the child of a single mother. So I do have perspective on it, but I would like to bring on a co-host who is a single mother or maybe was for a long time and who can really deep dive into advice and the ups and the downs of said situation. Does that make sense? I'm almost done talking y'all's ears off, I promise. So because we're still in the middle of tour, I will only be dropping 2 podcast episodes a month. So every 2 weeks, you'll be getting a new one. I don't want to overload myself. I just want to have fun with this and get it up and running. However, I will be cranking out more when tour is over. Patreon will be getting the episodes first. Not only will they be getting them first, but they will be getting the full uncut version of the podcast, okay? And then YouTube will be getting the cut version of the podcast. I will be dropping on Patreon on Saturdays, and I will be dropping on YouTube on Tuesdays. I'm going to go post the Dex and the City pictures right now, and then I'm going to launch the form. So be on standby, babes.